Hello, I'm doing my best to put on a more upbeat voice because that's what I'm trying to do in my own personal reprogramming of hard times. I'm trying to change and trying to put together an action plan that sounds different, but in honesty breaking through the emotions of the recent times is still difficult, so it might take me a few more days. We'll get there if I keep trying. My mental health has been like, make a live stream address, make a live stream address, make a live stream all day. And it's my mental health. I don't know why it's doing it. Well, it's actually since yesterday. I think I've just clocked why. The reason is because it's like a massive life achievement for me. And it's something to share. Not that I need to. It's just my life is, well, I won't go into detail, but I'll bring you up to date. I'll bring you up to speed a little bit. So I managed to finally move the boat yesterday. This has been months of me stuck in the same place with final delays of a flood, a cold, a interdimensional interference. I won't go into any more detail. Actually, I will. Is to say that my eyes have been interfered with now for a while, and if you're not into spirituality, and even if you are, you might not know, but eyes are the windows to the soul, and the soul is who we are as a being, to my understanding. And well, my vision has really been interfered with to an extent that my eyes are changing to the outside world. So what I mean by that is, how can I put it? It's the medication I was last on at hospital. Basically, it does something to my breathing, which did something to the internal pressures in my body. Don't forget, I've got an experience with Qigong, and to the understanding of the Qigong I've been taught, it's all about an internal pressure, dealing with that pressure in the body. And it kind of makes sense. You work on the lymphatic systems, the nervous systems, the artillery, the venous, all of the different systems in the body to gain control. And from there you gain control of the pressure in your body, and well, then you experience life in a more, what you'd say, healthier state. And essentially the breathing in my body got disrupted. From there the internal pressures have been disrupted. And you probably know me from these live streams. I'm a coffee machine at best of times. And then you put on top of it that my biggest fear in life is the medication in hospital. So I give everything to stay out of hospital. And then when I fail, I end up in hospital. So I'm exhausted by the time I get to hospital, but I'm so stressed and so fatigued. It's like you're maxed out to the energy you're able to expend to life. And that's how I found myself in hospital. And then when you're in hospital, the medication they give you really messes that sensitive place where you're under extreme pressure from my own life, trying to avoid the medication. Then I collapse in exhaustion, because I've surrendered. Well, I don't surrender. One way or another, I find myself sectioned in hospital. So there's like all that hard work for nothing. But not only that, you've got another ordeal in front of you in way of dealing with hospital and the medication, because I can't relax on that stuff. I want to get out of there as soon as possible, so I do my best when I work in hospital. But I'm exhausted. And it's almost like I don't have a choice but to expend more energy. And if you're giving me medication that messes with my internal pressures, and I've got that real cocktail of a strange scenario, that the best thing for that person is just to lie down and have some marijuana, or have something that just calms them the F out. And you know, you have a mother figure or a father figure there just saying to them, just chill, there's nothing to do, relax, you need to relax for your life here, man. But that's not the world. Maybe that's my job in this life, to train the NHS how to just be loving people, and forget all the medication, forget all of that what's the word? That clinical feeling when you go to hospital, everything's surgical, and it's far from loving surgical. And you know, just to be in a hospital bed, someone say, look, we know your mental health, scream as much as you want, you won't get in trouble, and chill out, we're here, you want to chat, come call us over, we'll check in on you every so often, and go on with it. But I go on a different tangent, and I've been on that tangent like 4 times or something, and it keeps getting like weirder and stranger. The pressures are more, but I'm more tired and I need to give more. It's just like a real cocktail, a combination to anything that resembles peace. But I've accepted that peace is my past to a certain extent. Peace is my nature, and I've got to fight because that's the reality. It's hard to admit. But anyway, I was warring through the past few months on so many levels, and I got stuck in. It's not that I got stuck. My life has been stuck, and I've not been able to be in control of what I need to do for a long time to on point. So I'm always like a month late, 6 weeks late. Anybody want a phone call? Just don't expect it to be on time. And I really got to the point where it was like, fucking hell, I can't do any more. Life has gone insane. I'm doing my best. Sometimes I think I should take myself to hospital for so many different reasons. But in honesty, it doesn't help me. I can't foresee how that medication helps people. Well, I can, and it's in honesty, I'm half lucky to be of this mindset where I can see how it really helps and where it doesn't. And then I'm unlucky because if you just say to yourself, I've got no option but to take this, and because I'm not clued up to health and everything like that, just that surrender half helps a lot of the time. Amplification of the effects of the mind, sort of thing. So I sort of gave up with life, and I said, look, I've got to just get on my boat, however long it takes me, and get on. I can't do any more. And it took me months and months and months. I had a flood as I was nearing ready to go. I had interdimensional interference with my eyes, so my eyes have been changing. The pressure on my eyes is like I'm in utter rage, about to explode or something. That's the pressure on my eyes, and my body's exhausted, and I can see that disparity at all times, and I'm like, this is just ain't healthy in the slightest to do a thing. But I've got pressures in my life surrounding me. I've got the backup of medication there that makes things worse every time, just in case I fail. And there's nothing I can do. I have to get on. In absolute honesty to the situation, if I don't continue to push, that's it. Things just get worse. So unfortunately, the bed rest I need isn't appropriate at this moment, and I have to accept that. And I continue, but I would. So I was a bit ill. Well, you can imagine my life, and just the last few days, just to delay it that little bit more, there was projectile vomit coming out. I think that was my body saying, "Move! I need to get out of here." And I was planning to. Well, there was a lot of reasons why the cruise was good, why it wasn't so good, but it was just nice. There's nothing I do in my life that slows me down and just makes me present. It's like this. Imagine if your work was meditation. That's what cruising a boat is like. You have to do it because you need the money. But when you do it, it's meditation and you feel better. And there's nothing else quite like that in my life. And it slows me down to just observe the nice nature as I'm moving. And I find myself now in a totally different setting, but very appropriate. I think this is what the sort of place I was hoping for a long time. The idea of being on my boat is to be like in the middle of nowhere. I've got industrial estates around me, and if I and it's to cater for my mental health in that sense. And you know, in all honesty, it is a bit greener here, so I could go for a walk up the canal, and that space from people, from the hustle and bustle, it should do wonders for my mental health. As much as I've got to admit to myself, if I take it too much for granted, the same thing will happen what it always happens, and that is life will come around and bite me in 6 months, a year, and put me in this place where I'm surrounded by nature, and it's like, right, Andreas, you love this. Why don't you love it now? And it will challenge me. So I'm not getting ahead of myself. I appreciate nature because nature is just another form of healing, another form of beauty. And you just got to be careful with it. Like me smoking tobacco, I'm doing it for my health. And it's the same with nature. Not because nature's evil, not because nature's bad, because it can be. You can find yourself in that place, but the laws that govern, I was going to say the universe, but us here on Earth, at the slightest, are a bit evil, and they want you to be strong to the nth degree instead of just being alive and living. And I've always got beef with anybody that's an authority figure in my life, because ultimately there are 1,000,001 ways to do something. And if someone's an authority figure over us, well, they're just saying, look, this is my idea of what's perfection, do it. And that's not the problem, but it's the means to communication. Nobody ever came up to me and said, look, we've got to do something, we're doing this because of this reason, just do it. And we can get on with that mentality of mind to life. So those challenges, in my head, it's some sort of extraterrestrial race from aeons ago that has come here to enlighten us by teaching us to work and be strong. But in the present moment, it's just another idea, it's another perception of life here on planet Earth. And I guess with me, I am one word at my core. You can boil me down to one word, and that word is why. And if I've got those, I'm going to call them cunts, because they're too chicken shit to stand here in front of us as conscious, proud beings that are teaching us to be strong when they can't be here in front of us. But I know they're benevolent, so I say it half in jest. And that is, why this way? Why this way and not another way? And I say it in seriousness, I don't joke. But, you know, I might prefer to live out that idea of perfection a different way. I might not choose to get up and work. If I don't understand the reason to become strong, it doesn't make sense to me. And I'd prefer to live my life by stuff making sense by my mind. My mind, isn't that true strength, you know? Instead of doing something insane because it's making you strong in one way, but in others you can see it's making you weaker. It's taking away from life. So I'll ask the question, until I get an answer, there's always other ways. And we're blessed with the beauty of nature sitting on our doorstep. Anyway, I was going to add something to that, but my mind's gone a bit blank. But I'm grateful to be here now. I'm grateful to see the benefits and challenges of what I had in mind when I decided to move to a boat, because it was practical. It was just that bit more practical than where I was living before in terms of managing my mental health. But there were many challenges to overcome living on a boat from the comfort I had living in a flat. And a lot of them have slapped me in the face and more already. And I dealt with challenges again last night. So there was a lot of panic. So all of the anxiety from the recent months is still there in my system. And where I know on one level, you know, I'll be okay. The panic from life hasn't eased, so I'm still on edge, and There's a lot of panic about dealing with a few logistical issues of finding myself in this place. And in all honesty, it feels like I've had help today from a higher source to really be focused enough to deal with them. I mean, I went down the shops and I wasn't screaming. I had a certain level of focus about me, so that was a good experience. Well, not the experience; it was still bad. But to see myself that I was allowed a day where I was able to do something simple that I haven't really been able to do for a long time. And I know the situation. I know tomorrow I could get knocked down again, because it can happen any day. It does. And it could last 2 weeks. But I've just got to do my best. Keep positive, keep focused, keep making good decisions. I mean, I've expressed, I'm half not here, to be honest. And I haven't really got from this what I wanted from this live stream anyway, so I think I'm going to end it here. And catch you soon. Oh, there was one thing. If there are any identifying something, this is it. I've found myself moored right next to this, and I want to know if it's white sage. Can the, what would I call myself, the mad sage, have looked at the universe and felt nature and moored right next to a white sage? And it's got to be sage, because it's kind of nice. I was just had it on. The one nice thing about the boat is where I'm moored. And the irony is there's all industrial estates here, and I think they still let off a lot of chemicals into the canals. But it could also be a water runoff. But right as I open my door, there's a drain pipe that's got a little bit of running water coming into the canal, so you get that sound of running water, and it's really nice. I mean, forget it's probably chemicals, but just like a few feet away, that's where this plant is growing, and they're meant to be robust sage plants in growing anywhere. So I'm just wondering if it's a nice little universal sign. Have a lovely weekend.